Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here. So I got a question. Fitness and health, what this one is related to. And this is about biohacking. Is biohacking a good means in order to become your best self? And the person who wrote this, Matt, he sent me a pretty long link to a blog article. I don't know if I'll link it here, but I'll just talk about it a little bit. It's pretty lengthy. I don't want to necessarily encourage what's in this, because there's a lot of drugs and stuff in there that I we'll get to that in a minute. But Matt, he asks a good question, right? And he says, this Stanford MBA tech business guy approaches biohacking as a way to help you in becoming your best self. Becoming your best self is the goal, of course, of this channel. But this biohacking approach contains what you would call crutches, all right, such as drugs and supplements. And you don't like crutches. He takes a very logical approach about how crutches aren't a bad thing, and if done in a systematic, practical, low side effect way, they can be very beneficial. So he suggests that I skim the blog post in order to get the context here. So I want to talk about this a little bit, and I don't know if I've done a video totally on crutches. Maybe this one will be it, or maybe I'll do another video that's totally on crutches. But let me go and start with my concept of crutches and why I think they're bad, and then we'll get into the biohacking part. So first of all, a crutch in my mind is anything that helps you achieve something, okay, that you want to achieve, that without it you wouldn't be capable of doing, right? That's maybe a kind of broad definition, and maybe we could tweak that a little bit and say, well, in this circumstance, but we'll just use that for now as an operating definition. So what I mean by basically like this is, I've done a video on why I don't take steroids, okay, even though some of you think that I do, and there's no convincing you otherwise. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I don't care, whatever the fuck. And it's because, one of the main reasons is because it's a crutch, okay? I want to be able to build, I'm about who I become in the process of achieving my goals, not the goal itself, okay? I did another one on porn and masturbation and why you should avoid it. And again, the same thing here. It's about becoming that man. It's about that journey. It's about seeing that as a crutch, right? A lot of you guys that are addicted to pornography and masturbation, I know, oh, John said that, whatever. But the thing is, like, you're using it as a crutch in order to fulfill a desire at a very low level, instead of going out and becoming the man that you should become, right, in order to attract the woman that you would like to attract. You're taking a shortcut. You're like, well, I can just get my jollies off. I can just get the orgasm part. I don't have to actually do the work and develop myself in order to get what I want out of life. And so those are crutches, right? So those are probably some pretty good examples, right? A lot of drugs and whatnot would be crutches. So in general, why am I against crutches? Well, in general, I'm against crutches because what happens is when you use a crutch, okay, you end up, there's a couple of things. One of them is that you end up focusing on the end result more, and the end result is not so important. I mean, and I'm not going to say the end result isn't important at all, okay? We do things to some degree to get results, but that's not the only reason why we do things, and that's not the main reason. When we focus on the end result, what ends up happening is we forget the most important part, which is who we become. Because you see, it doesn't matter what you have, it matters who you are. And who you are is eventually going to translate into what you have. And so if you focus so much on that end result and so much on that goal and the thing that you get as opposed to what you become an empty shell. Right? My goal in life and your goal in life should not be to become an empty shell, right? There's no point in having a nice physique and big muscles and being super productive and having a pile of cash when it's empty, when it's an empty shell, when inside you don't have the strength, you don't have the resolve, right? You don't have the character to accomplish those things. It's just you won the lottery, you used some kind of hack, you used some drugs, you did some things, took some shortcuts just to get you the result. It's like if I used to be a big video game player. It's like using a cheat code. I remember when I got my first Nintendo when I was young, Contra, okay? And there's up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start, right? I'll always remember that Contra code, the Konami code. I guess it's Konami because it's Japanese. Konami. Whatever. Anyway, I'll always remember that. But you know, I used that at first in Contra, but it kind of ruins it. Eventually I got to the point where I could just beat Contra without using the code, which is crazy, right? I played a lot of fucking video games. But the thing is, like, you could use Game Genie too, right? That was, you know, for old school. It lets you hack the game and basically cheat. There's no enjoyment, there's no real pleasure in doing that. You're not actually good at the game, right? You've not done anything, you've not accomplished anything. So that's why crutches, for the most part, you know, I'm against. Now, one man's crutch is another man's savior or aid or assistant, right? So let's talk about biohacking here now to get into the article. And, you know, and I'll talk about the article. So the article talks about, you know, this guy, he's basically got a bunch of different stats that he tracked, medical, like a bunch of different areas, from sleep to motivation to, you know, productivity and all these type of things, and fitness and stuff. And he's used a combination of, you know, some things that I wouldn't even consider crutches, like just smart things like meditation and good sleep practices and things like that, and good fitness practices, avoiding sugar, you know, all those kind of things. But he's also used some things like some drugs, you know, like modafinil and MDMA to overcome social anxiety. Okay, so we're getting to the really crutchy zone here, and growth hormone, right, and some of those things. So there's not a clear line here, by the way, all right? So when I look at what he's done, some of the stuff I'm like, yeah, that I totally agree with. But the question, what it comes down to is, why are you doing it, right? So let's take his MDMA, which is definitely fucking controversial, right? Don't do that one, all right? And he's got a pretty good justification for it, and I understand. And he says, this has really helped me with social anxiety and with talking to girls and all this stuff and becoming a more extroverted person. And I agree, probably did, right? But here's the thing, right? The reason why, see, when we go to the why of taking that, the why is because I can't do this on my own, and I need this in order for me to be able to become what I want to, right? And so that's the problem, that's the why. That makes it a really big crutch. Because the thing is, like, if you're going to rely on some drug, an MDMA in this case, in order to not be socially awkward and to go talk to girls and stuff, when you don't have that, what are you? Right? You haven't actually improved. Like, the journey, and here's the thing, it's like you're robbing yourself, right, of the journey and the progression that comes internally and in your own personal development of accomplishing that thing. Okay, and that's the thing. It's like when I see this guy say this, I'm like, well, you know what? That struggle, like, one of the hardest things for guys to do, at least for most guys, is to overcome the social anxiety, that approach anxiety of going and talking to girls. All right, I coach a lot of guys on this. This is wise because it is, but it's one of those things in life. Like, I know a lot of guys in the pickup community. You know, I've interviewed like RSD Max on this channel, right? And a lot of those guys are really, really successful, and they have confidence, and you know, their personal development has achieved a very peak level simply because they went through this struggle. It's a very hard struggle to be able to develop those skills and to put yourself out there and to face the rejection, right? I've gone through this myself, okay? And my life changed when I went through it. Now, if you take a drug that gets you from here to here, you may get those results, right? Maybe this guy's like, oh, he's just banging these hot girls. Great, fine. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, this progress that takes you from socially awkward, shy, embarrassed kind of, you know, guy to stud muffin, all right? You know, where I'm at. No. You know what I mean? But that progress, that level, that improves you in so many other ways in your life, and it changes you to the core. It makes you the person who you're meant to become. And if you take that shortcut, you lose that. You lose that benefit, okay? Now, you could say the same thing with lifting weights, with building a physique, right? Now, with that said, I take some creatine, I take certain supplements, I take some vitamin D when my vitamin D is low. You know, I'm not stupid, right? I do some things that will assist me and aid me, but I'm not going to take steroids because to me, steroids is jumping that gap, right? The fucking hard, I mean, I ran 6 miles this morning. I'm about to go and run 5 more miles. Then I'm going to do Muay Thai class. I haven't eaten today. I probably won't eat. I may fast all day, but I probably won't eat till 7 p.m. tonight, okay? If I do eat, right? And this is hard shit, right? I mean, it's not easy to get here, right? It's not fucking easy, right? If I took steroids, yes, it would be easier. It would still be some work, but the thing is, like, I'm not there yet. And the thing is, like, when I think about it, when I fail still, and I still fail, I'm like, man, it shows me, it's a marker that says, John, You may think you're the fucking shit. You may think that you've got this awesome physique and you're there, but you're not fucking there, dude, because you can't resist that bowl of cereal yet, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you still fuck it up when you're close to where you want to be. So you need to still do some work, some deep digging and some development on yourself in order to reach that goal, right? And when you reach that goal on your own, then you'll have purged these weaknesses from yourself. Okay, and so I'm still on that journey. I'm not going to take the shortcut. I'm not going to take the cheat. But I'll take some supplements that help me. I'll take some supplements that will make things, work better, make my journey more efficient, right? There's, like I said, there's not a clear line here, but that's why I say for you, one man's crutch is another man's savior, like it's another man's assistant, let's say, that not savior, but assistant, right? So for some person, right, and I've talked about this a lot of times with guys who have asked me, should I drink alcohol when I go and I'm picking up girls and stuff? And it's like, for me, when I was first learning this, and for a lot of guys, it's like, no, you need to lay off the alcohol because you're using it as a crutch in order to lower your inhibitions and to decrease your social anxiety. But there's a lot of other guys that are like beyond that. It's like, okay, and so can you have a little bit of drinks and have a good time? Sure, it's fine, right? It doesn't make a difference. It's not a crutch for you. Right? So the thing is, like, when it's that question, right? You have to ask that question, right? I have nothing against biohacking. I do a lot of biohacking, right? I do a lot of stuff that would be considered biohacking, right? From my diet plans, eating 1 meal a day, manipulating insulin by doing that, and all kinds of stuff, right? I'm all for the science and the tech and doing smart stuff like that, but I'm for, but everything I'm trying to do in life and everything I want you to do in life is to actually really improve yourself, to improve your discipline, right? I talk about freedom, okay? Check out the playlist on freedom. And freedom, in my definition of it, is the ability to manifest your own will as much as possible within your own life. Think about what that means. In order to do that, what do you need? You need self-control, you need discipline. Okay? And a lot of times when you're using something that is a crutch for you, it's to circumvent the self-control and discipline that's required in order for you to achieve the same or similar result. And when you do that, you rob yourself of the soul searching, of the heart-wrenching journey that builds that. Because you can't cheat that, right? There's no fucking pill, there's no fucking drug, there's no biohack, there's nothing, no crutch that is going to get you, that's going to change your character, that's going to change you, right, in the way to become stronger, right? And when I say stronger, I don't mean physically stronger. I mean stronger. I mean having the fucking resolve, right? We call it being a bulldog here on this channel, but having the resolve and the discipline to achieve what you want to achieve out of life and to not let people stop you and to be fucking resilient against the fucking shit that life throws at you and people throw at you. This is the goal. This is where you should be aiming in life. And so when I talk about these things and I say don't use crutches, it's not about handicapping yourself or any of that shit. It's all about this. It's like, don't fucking rob me of my fucking purpose. I want to grow. I want to build my character. I want to become the indomitable fucking man that I am destined to become. And every single fucking thing that is stopping me from doing that, I don't want that in my life. And that's where the crutches come in. That's why I'm against crutches. It's not anything moral. It's not anything like that. It's completely, it's counterproductive to what I'm trying to accomplish, right? It's a temptation that causes me to fall and not grow. You want to grow? Avoid the crutches. And like I said, I'll sum it up with this to answer the question here. What do I think about this, about the biohacking and what this guy said? I think it fucking depends on you. You decide, is it a crutch for you, right? Answer that question. Why are you doing it, right? And if it is something that is allowing you to circumvent the hard work that would develop your character in order to achieve the result that you want, it's a crutch. And you should avoid it. Plain and simple. All right, that is all that I have for you today. If you have not subscribed already, click that subscribe button and join me on the journey. And click the bell if you don't mind. This way you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.